Fear is an emotion as old as humanity itself, an inescapable aspect of the human condition that all individuals must confront at various junctures in life. It is a universal emotion that coils within, at times paralyzing our capacities, clouding judgment, and at its worst, encapsulating our lives in a perpetual state of anxiety and dread. In the course of living, we all inevitably encounter situations that instigate fear, ranging from subtle anxieties to overwhelming terror. But what if there was a way to approach fear that not only mitigates its effects but also transforms it into a catalyst for personal growth and self-mastery? Enter Miyamoto Musashi, a samurai artist and philosopher whose life was a symphony of relentless challenges and who regularly stared into the abyss of death. Musashi's existence was far from serene. His life was a battlefield, both literally and metaphorically. However, it was his unique approach to fear that distinguished him from his contemporaries and has made his philosophies timeless. Musashi was no stranger to fear, facing life-threatening situations that most can barely fathom. Yet, his encounters with fear were not tales of surrender, but narratives of triumph, learning, and unprecedented courage. He did not perceive fear as an indomitable monster, but rather as an opponent worthy of respect and understanding. The way Musashi approached fear was not through suppression or denial. Instead, he embraced it, understood its nature, and used it as a tool for personal development and strategic advantage in battle. He was not fearless in the absence of fear, but fearless in his approach to handling it, showing us that the emotion itself is not inherently detrimental. Instead, it is our reaction to fear that determines the outcome. Through the unfolding chapters, we will delve into the depths of Musashi's understanding and approach to fear. We'll explore how his life and teachings offer invaluable insights and practical applications for overcoming the fears we all inevitably face, guiding us toward a life of resilience, confidence, and courage. Prepare to embark on a journey that not only explores the facets of fear, but also illuminates the path to mastering it, guided by the wisdom of one of history's most formidable and insightful warriors. For in understanding fear, we unlock the potential to live lives unbounded and free from the chains of debilitating trepidation. As we journey through the annals of Musashi's life, we're met with a panorama of confrontations, both physical and mental. While the fear that grips many of us might be more abstract concerns about the future, societal pressures, or personal inadequacies, Musashi's challenges were often tangible, immediate, and life-threatening. Every duel, every skirmish, every introspective battle he faced was a moment punctuated by the lurking shadows of fear. From his early days, engaging in duels as a young teen, to his legendary battles against seasoned warriors, each encounter was a testament to his relationship with fear. But what's particularly fascinating isn't just the sheer volume or intensity of these confrontations. It's the distinction in Musashi's response when juxtaposed with the typical reactions to fear. For many, an impending threat might elicit panic, hesitancy, or even paralysis. Musashi, on the other hand, seemed to navigate these terrains with a unique blend of awareness and composure. His reaction was not one of impulse, but of deliberate action. Consider, for instance, his duel against the esteemed Sasaki Kojiro, the demon of the western provinces. Facing an opponent of such renown, one might expect even a seasoned warrior to falter under the weight of expectation and the palpable threat of death. Yet, Musashi's approach was characterized by strategy and calm. From his deliberate tardiness to unsettle Kojiro to his choice of weapon, it was as though, for Musashi, fear wasn't a barrier but a catalyst, something to be acknowledged and then utilized. These confrontations were not just physical clashes, but mental chess games, where Musashi's ability to manage and leverage his fear determined the outcome. He seemed to perceive fear as an informant, a source of information about oneself, the opponent, and the environment. But how did Musashi develop such an unyielding demeanor in the face of peril? What internal frameworks did he adopt that allowed him to stand resolute when many would waver? As we delve deeper, we'll uncover the philosophical underpinnings and practical techniques Musashi employed, casting light on his profound relationship with fear and how we might draw from his wisdom in our battles. Mind over matter, Musashi's mental fortitude. While the battles and duels present a vivid tapestry of Musashi's life, the backdrop to these physical confrontations was invariably the arena of the mind. If Musashi's sword was an extension of his body, then his philosophy was the lifeblood that flowed through it, empowering each strike, each parry, and each decision. Musashi, like many great warriors of history, understood a pivotal truth. The battles we face in the external world are often won or lost in the internal landscapes of our minds. Confronting a skilled opponent with a blade is daunting, but facing the internal adversaries of doubt, dread, and despair requires an even more formidable brand of courage. This internal arena is where Musashi devoted significant time and energy, forging a mental fortitude as sharp and resilient as his blade. His writings, particularly the Book of Five Rings, offer glimpses into this rigorous mental conditioning. He wrote, "Perceive that which cannot be seen with the eye," highlighting the importance of intuition, foresight, and mental clarity. Musashi's emphasis was on mindfulness and being fully present in the moment. By immersing himself completely in the here and now, he could disentangle from crippling fears rooted in past regrets or future uncertainties. This singular focus acted as a shield, allowing him to perceive situations with crystal clarity and respond, not react, to threats. Moreover, Musashi practiced the art of detachment. He distanced himself from attachments to outcomes. Victory was desirable, but it was the process, the act of dueling, the expression of his philosophy in motion, that mattered most. By relinquishing the fear of defeat, he gained a paradoxical advantage, often leaving adversaries bewildered and tentative. He also adopted a continuous learning mindset. For Musashi, every challenge, every fear confronted, and every scar earned was an opportunity to learn and grow. This perpetual student mentality rendered him adaptable, enabling him to evolve his strategies and techniques, often catching foes off guard. But how can we, devoid of life and death duels, benefit from Musashi's approach? How can his philosophy guide us in confronting our fears, be they public speaking, personal insecurities, or the looming anxieties of modern life? As we journey further, we'll explore ways to translate Musashi's timeless wisdom into actionable steps, making his brand of fearlessness accessible and relevant for us all. The two-sword approach, dualistic thinking. In the panorama of Musashi's teachings, the Niten Ichiryu technique stands out as a brilliant testament to his genius. Using two swords in tandem, one long, one short, this technique wasn't just a testament to his martial prowess, but also a metaphor for his philosophical approach. At its core, the dual sword method symbolized balance. Just as he wielded two weapons in harmony, Musashi believed in harmonizing the internal and external facets of existence. This balance was crucial in confronting fear. Externally, one could imagine the long sword representing proactive confrontation, facing fears head-on, engaging with challenges, and seeking growth. On the other hand, the shorter sword might signify defense, introspection, and reflection, understanding one's fears, delving into their origins, and thereby neutralizing them. Internally, the dual sword approach could be viewed as the equilibrium between rationality and emotion. While our feelings, like apprehension and anxiety, can alert us to potential threats, rational thinking helps navigate these feelings, ensuring they don't overwhelm us. By synchronizing the two, like the rhythmic dance of his swords, Musashi cultivated a state of mind that was both alert and at peace, ready to face any fear that dared to challenge him. This dualistic approach, rather than creating conflict, brought holistic solutions. In modern contexts, imagine combining intuitive feelings with analytical thinking when faced with decisions, or blending empathy with logic in challenging interpersonal situations. By understanding and implementing Musashi's two-sword philosophy, we too can foster a balanced mindset, granting us the clarity and confidence to tackle fears with both vigor and wisdom. Being in the moment, the power of the present. Musashi's embrace of the present moment was a cornerstone in his confrontation with fear. For him, the present was not just a passage of time, but a dynamic space of action and reaction, free from the shadows of past regrets and future anxieties. Within the present, Musashi found clarity. This unbroken focus allowed him to approach each duel, each challenge, without the burden of past defeats or the dread of potential failure. Every moment was a clean slate, an opportunity to act with precision and purpose. His approach offers a valuable lesson in diminishing fear. Fears often stem from our anticipation of future events or traumas experienced in the past. By immersing ourselves in the present, we can navigate through life with a clear and focused mind, reducing the hold that these fears have over us. Adopting Musashi's practice of present living, we can learn to dissolve our fears, engaging with life more freely and confidently, reacting to challenges with a mind unclouded by doubt and anxiety. Preparation and training, the key to confidence. Emerging from the teachings of being deeply rooted in the present, Miyamoto Musashi also emphasized the importance of preparation and continuous training. It's one thing to live in the moment, but another to be utterly prepared for that moment. Musashi was no stranger to the concept that mastery and confidence were intertwined. Each swing of his sword, each stance he took, was not a random act, but a culmination of countless hours of meticulous training and preparation. For him, the dojo was not just a place for physical practice, but a realm to mentally confront and manage fear. His relentless discipline ensured that when faced with an opponent, doubt and fear were replaced by a deep-seated confidence. A confidence not rooted in arrogance, but in the assurance of his capabilities and his readiness for any unpredictable turn the duel might take. The lesson here transcends the world of martial arts. In any field, thorough preparation can act as a shield against fear. When we're well prepared, we not only equip ourselves with the skills to face challenges, but also develop the mental fortitude to confront our fears. For in the end, as Musashi demonstrated, it's not just about conquering the opponent, but also mastering the looming shadows of our own doubts. Embracing death, the ultimate fear. In Musashi's life narrative, one perceives a man who, enveloped in the precarious samurai lifestyle, developed a harmonious relationship with the inevitable reality of death. The ultimate and most primal fear that humanity shares is the fear of death. And in Musashi's philosophy, addressing this fear is pivotal to understanding the tapestry of his fearlessness. Musashi navigated through his life, engaging in more than 60 duels, with an acceptance of mortality not as a constraint but as an inevitable aspect of existence. His contemplation on death didn't breed passivity. Instead, it carved a pathway towards living with valor and deliberateness, reflecting a profound comprehension that life is transient and fragile. In his magnum opus, The Book of Five Rings, he advocated for a mindset that isn't paralyzed by the dread of death. For him, embracing death was not an invitation to nihilism, but an acknowledgement of life's impermanent nature. Such a perspective unveiled a lens through which fear is not an incapacitating force, but a natural, manageable aspect of the human experience. Here, in the silence between life and death, Musashi found a reservoir of indomitable strength and tranquility. For contemporary audiences, the message is profound and liberating. By accepting and coming to terms with our mortality, we can live life with a bravery and authenticity that is unshackled from the debilitating chains of fear. For in the shadow of death, fear loses its sting, and life unfurls its canvas in its most vivid and fearless colors. The lesson here transcends the world of martial arts. In any field, thorough preparation can act as a shield against fear. When we're well prepared, we not only equip ourselves with the skills to face challenges, but also develop the mental fortitude to confront our fears. For in the end, as Musashi demonstrated, it's not just about conquering the opponent, but also mastering the looming shadows of our own doubts.